Om Shiva Namaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Hari Hari Mahadeva. Peace, peace, and peace. Peace be on the listener, whether it's a herself or it's a himself. Gender is abstract. Gender is not important. Just to give a lollipop to your mind, as you can see the caption, transcending mind. Peace be on the speaker. Peace be on the listener and peace be on the speaker. The speaker, the one who speaks the words of truth, the words of absolute justice, and the words of wisdom. A speaker which is pure consciousness and pure self-awareness would manifest or is going to manifest the words of truth and the words of wisdom through his finite mind and through his finite body. You see, somebody, as you know, about the project I work on during the week, so I am busy. You see, the human have created the structure of the entire globe in such a way that rest of the humanity has engaged themselves just to earn a living, and they think this is life. I am the part of this humanity, but I have gone beyond earning a living because I know my sole purpose is not to earn the living, you see, but also do enormous things and experience life in its full extent, because life deserves better than to just earn a living. Anyway, so I have been busy in the project during the week. I've been working, but you see, I never forget humankind. You, the humankind, I don't forget you, and I always make time. You see, for the most part, every day I am in a state of meditation, whether I am working or I am at home or cooking or doing a number of activities. During the week, somebody wrote me. During the week, I hope you are following what I'm saying. uh, oh, during the week, somebody wrote me, and the person, they wrote me in extreme detail, if you understand what I'm saying. During the week, a person has written to me, you see, out of privacy and out of respect. I don't mention the names, the demographics, the color, the culture, from where these things are abstract. I keep saying that please remember these things are not important. These things don't play a significant role in how we conduct the very process of life. during the week somebody wrote me in a profound detail, and they said that please help, I am reaching out because I worry too much and I am reaching out if you can help quickly, you see. And I think a lot, and my mind does not stop, but I want to learn the ways. So, to answer to that is basically number one, there is no such thing as quickly, there is no such thing as cut through, or there is no such thing as drive through. You see, if you need to achieve the results, if you are very concerned with your well-being, you see what I am saying, then you need to make time for yourself. Have you heard of Rumi, the great mystic, the Persian man, the wise man, the enlightened, beautiful Rumi? You see, Rumi said, it's your road and your road solely. Other can help you walk, but no one can walk for you. So remember something, we the wise people, we the clairvoyant, or the sages, or the rishis, whatever you want to title us or name us, we are here to show you a little bit of guideline. The reason I am saying a little bit, because rest you, it's entirely on you. As I said, we are the helpers and we are the helping hand for you. We offer our helping hand to get you out of the misery you go through on the regular basis. I hope you understand that I have started answering your inquiry. For one, there is no such thing as quickly. The great news is, and I am the bearer of the great news, which is, it is very possible to take charge of your mind. That's the reason you see the title Transcending Mind. This person says, I overthink and I think a lot. From a small speck to a huge problem, my attention is hooked all the time. You see, it is happening because you have given or subscribed significance to mind. You think it has all the power. In the back of your mind, this is what you've been told, this is what you've been taught, and whatever you've been told and whatever you have been taught, you never question. You look around you, you find others just like you, so you think it's normal, because nobody is taking enough time to look what's really going on. You see, everybody's jumping into the bandwagon because people are looking at each other and they are saying, this is it, you see, and they are saying everybody's doing that, so it must be normal. You see, at some point, a fair amount of humanity, it's not a fiction what I'm telling you, it's a reality. At some point, a few centuries ago, a fair amount of humanity basically believed in a superstition that Earth is flat, and the elephants are holding it. I'm sure that I have mentioned that before in one of the retreats, but I mention it again so I bring more clarity if you pay attention to my words. Now we know after a few centuries that the earth is not flat and elephants are not for sure holding the earth. You see, now we know for sure. And but a fair amount of humanity believed a few centuries ago in a superstition like that. Did it make it true? I'm asking you a question. Just because majority believe in some superstition, it does not make it true. You subscribe too much significance to mind. in yogi culture, the yogis and the meditators, we take charge of the mind. We don't have anything against mind, but we take charge of the mind. Mind can be a useful tool. Mind can be a great ally. It's just that you have to train it. Because if you don't, it can be very vicious, it can be very nasty. And sometimes it just makes everything worse and put the person in misery. I'll tell you a real event. It happened. It's not a story. It's a real event. A sad event happened because of the mind. When a person, any person, gives too much charge to the mind becomes so vicious and it goes on power trip and it kills the person and it's merciless. And then it moves on to the next one. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not telling you fiction. I'm telling you the truth. If you don't take charge of the mind, it can do that to a being, any being. It has happened to people and it's merciless. It has no remorse. So after killing the person, after killing the being, it would move on to the next one and the next one and next one. This is how it would keep itself alive with no mercy. In Hyderabad, you have heard of a have you heard of a prominent city? The name of the prominent city in India, actually. The name of the prominent city in India, in South India. And the name of the prominent city is Hyderabad. So, have you heard of Hyderabad in South India? You see, this sad event happened over there. There was a woman, and that woman basically jumped. Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? That woman basically jumped from the seventh floor of her apartment. That lady, she jumped from the seventh floor of her apartment and committed suicide and left a note behind that nothing and nobody, nothing and no one and nobody is responsible for my death but my mind. You see, this is what it can do to a person. It is extremely powerful because it stores the memory, and it is extremely powerful because it creates imagination through whatever the memory is stored, and then it pulls it out. It never gets tired. You see, it never gets tired. It doesn't breathe like a body requires to breathe. It does not breathe, you see, and it never gets tired. Never. You see, it can wear the being off, it can wear a person off, but it itself never gets tired. It would just keep going and going and going as it has a life of its own, and it is a separate entity. You see, it is not a separate entity because the life it is getting through your focus. You see, that's when it gets the life, and it does not care. It's very merciless. It is alive only by thoughts and rearranging thoughts and bringing your focus over and over and over. You see, and it would just keep you occupied all the time. So you are asking, how can I help? So all this I am saying that I'm trying to tell you first the nature of it. You see, however, you can train it. it. You see, there is no on and off switch button. There is no on and off switch button that you can just flip the switch and it would shut everything off. There is no such thing happening like that, that if you just flip the switch and it would shut everything off. You are not yet to that type of power. You are not yet to that type of control. But the good news is it is very possible. You see, you can make a switch like that, but right now you are not. So you must. This is the answer, of course, with everything else. You must put time for yourself, and you must create distance from it. Okay, that's why I'm explaining the nature of it. You must put time for yourself, and you must create the distance from it, because it's not your personal mind. It's the mind of all humanity. We have talked about that. If you remember, just remember the word remember. So it basically is, no, you don't own your thoughts. No thoughts are your personalized thoughts. Just because you are the one who is having the thought, it does not mean it's your personalized thought. The same thought has occurred numerous million times to other people. Okay, so when the mind is a collective mind of humanity, there are thoughts. They can scare you. There are thoughts they can hook your attention. There are thoughts they can create fear in you, because it's the collective mind of all humanity. So learn to create the distance between your thoughts or your mind and what you essentially are. That's why we are looking at the nature of mind first so profoundly, if you understand. That's why we are looking the nature of the mind itself so profoundly. So once we understand how it works and what it does, then we can take charge of it. And it is very possible, so don't be disappointed. The mind of all humanity, the thoughts you have are not personalized to you. You see, this person, the one who inquired about, please help, because I overthink and thinking all the time, and from a small speck to a huge deal, anything can hook my attention, and they are in a lot of misery. When you have subscribed so much significance to the mind, then of course it's going to do it. It's going to think it's a king, and it's going to be merciless, and it's going to rule on you. You see, it likes to punish you by using different type of thoughts as imagination, and then it punishes as a person. Make it your ally, turn it into your servant. So when you need this small mind, you can just use it. After that, you can just put it aside. Go on your way, basically. Turn the table on it. And this person also wrote me, they went to church and spoke with the pastor, and the pastor prayed, and the pastor said, I pray that your mind basically calms down. And they tried this numerous times, but it didn't work. Of course, prayer does not play any role. It's a jungle, sir. Basically, you need to do something about it. Prayer do not do anything. What prayer is gonna do? And the pastor said, just don't overthink. You see, this is what we humans do to each other. Some poor person comes to us for an advice, and we say, just don't overthink, just take it easy. But when you ask, but we do not tell the person how. You see, we just say, just don't overthink, or just chill, along something along those lines, but we do not ever tell the person how. You see, and my job is basically to first, I look into a thing a matter, a prob, a confusion, a perplex, whatever you want to call it in English, very profoundly. And I tell you, not what a person or a human tells you. I do not tell you that. I look at it. That's why I've been talking for last half an hour, just to explain the nature of the mind, that it can be merciless. And it is for the most part on a power trip, and the power is coming from you. So the first thing we need to learn is to create the distance between the human mind, or the mind of all humanity, and yourself. You are not your thoughts, you are not your mind. As long as you believe that you are your thoughts and you are your mind, it would keep you occupied. As a matter of fact, it would become more merciless, it would become more narcissist and nasty, and it would think it's a king, and it will ruling out punishments on you over and over without any compassion. You see, it would never listen to you. So know that you are not your mind. You see, do not subscribe the significance to it. Yes, it is important for the functioning purposes. You see, functioning in the society, it is important. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying anything against it. But it's just the sole purpose that it serves. You see? When you have to function, when you have to function, when you when you have to function among humans, when you have to function in the society, when you have to drive a car, when you have to earn a living, which sadly and unfortunately has become the matter of paramount significance in humanity. You see, few humans are controlling the entire humanity, sadly, and they have got everybody engaged in a system where a person cannot get out but to just think about earning a living. Anyway, moving on. So it basically when you have to function, when you have to earn a living, when you have to socialize, when you have to drive a car, when you have to buy groceries, it's significant. It has a little bit of significance there. You use it, you see, and that's the only significance it has. That's it. That's the only significance it has. Anything other than that, it tries to take charge of you when you are alone. You say shh. You see shush. So you say shh. You shush it. And that only happens when you have created sufficient distance between you and the mind of all humanity. When you are all by yourself, you see, try to just sit. You see, try to just sit when you are all by yourself. You see, you have tried so many things. You have gone to the pastor, you have gone to the religious people, you have gone to doctors, you have tried everything, but nothing is working, isn't it? That's what exactly is happening, that you have tried so many things, but nothing is working. So when you have tried so many things, and when it has worn you off, you understand what I'm saying to you? It has it has wore you off when you have tried so many things, and it has wore you off. Then, and you still cannot find a solution to your problem, then it's time that you try something very simple. You see, You try something very simple. Everything is within you. You understand what I'm saying to you? The one who has created you has done a phenomenal job. You understand? So everything is within you. Help is also within you. You don't need anything outside of you. You see, you go to a religious figure and you ask them, can you please help me? I'm not challenging or downplaying your emotions, because I understand. I'm the one who is helping you here by giving you the real picture, what you are dealing with and what you can do. You see. So you go to a religious figure or a place of worship and you go, oh, by the way, just don't overthink. You see, don't overthink, and I would pray for you. So that obviously, if you understand what I'm saying to you, that obviously does not work. Prayer is not going to do anything for you. You understand that? Basically, if you don't do practical, you sit, you sit and you just don't do anything, and you look at the religious figures or the other prominent figures or whoever, and you say, please help. They would say, okay, I would pray for you. By the way, don't forget to make the donation. This is how most humans are working, you see. I would pray for you, or they would give you advice, but they would never tell you that what to do and how to do it. You see, prayer wouldn't do anything because you gotta put the efforts. Remember, Swami Yogananda, the one who said, if you want to bring the change, you need to put the efforts. If you want to make the change, you need to put the efforts. Nothing is gonna happen in a blink of an eye. It's not possible. You are made out of energy. It has to, you are fully in charge of it. Whatever the direction you move it would go to that way. So everything happens step by step. You know what I mean? And as far as the praying goes, it does not change. I remember one of the acquaintance I knew, the poor guy, and my heart goes out for him. And that poor guy basically became homeless, unfortunately. And he was, of course, he being homeless is not easy, and the poor guy became homeless, and he posted on his on the social media that he is homeless, and if any of the friends over there on social media, if they can help him or if they can shelter him, if you know what I mean. And the guy basically, and all these people, they are saying everything is going to be okay, or just hang in there. I'm gonna pray to Lord for you. It would be all right, or praise to Lord. But you see, he remained homeless even after doing all that. So what I do basically every time that when I talk to you, I bring clarity. Look what you are doing. You see, stop doing all this. It's not gonna take you anywhere. If you cannot help somebody, then let's not give them false hope that it would take you anywhere, or the words of prayer are going to take you anywhere, or there would be a miraculous solution to your problem. Because even after numerous weeks and months, he was still homeless after doing all this prayer, and I would pray for you. So, what I'm saying to you, not only the person who has inquired and are in misery, but all of you humans, you the humankind, all this is for everybody who this goes by, to whom it is concerned, or to whom it may concern. You understand? This goes by that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing clarity. That be practical, okay? Do not believe in fictions such as some type of holy book is going to change the course how you think, or some type of prayer is going to take the charge or the change the course of what you are going through. No, be realistic to yourself. You understand that? Be realistic to yourself. You are the only one who would bring the change in your life. You see, nobody would do that. Remember when I quoted Rumi, that is your road and your road alone. Other can help you walk, but nobody can walk for you. This is pure wisdom. Do you understand what he said? This is pure wisdom. That is can only liberate you if you paid ever enough attention. You see, so when I approach something through numerous perspectives. So far, what I have told you, the only significance your mind of humanity has when you have to function among humans, when you have to drive a car, when you have to learn new skills, or when you have to earn a living, or when you have to socialize, or when you have to travel, or you have to perform certain mind activities, you see, then you use it. But when you come back, you see, and when you are alone, you create a distance from it. And let me tell you something, it's so easy. It takes time, but it works in the end. When you are alone by yourself, don't look around. You see, when you are, I'm giving you a very simple and easy skill, because the way life has made you, it has given you everything and it's within you. You don't have to go to anybody. When you are by yourself and you are sitting by yourself and there is nobody around, this is the time when you put the mind aside. This is the time when you put the thoughts aside. How you do it? Let me tell you something. Sit attentive. You have seen me numerous times sitting in the position of meditation. You have seen me numerous times sitting in the position, in a very fundamental position of meditation. You see, straight. Remember to keep, you see, it's very simple. It does not require any outside help. Remember to keep your spine. Remember to keep your spine erect as humanly possible but comfortable. Remember this. Please know that spine plays a very significant role in your well-being. Please know that. Okay? I'm repeating myself because I'm using it. I'm emphasizing, I am intensifying that spine or spinal cord or your backbone, whatever you want to call it, it indicates to the same thing, plays a very significant role in your well-being. Know that. So this is what you do. This is what that religious figure or the place of worship didn't tell you. You see, this is what you do. When you are by yourself, come and sit and keep your spine erect as humanly possible but comfortable. And cross your legs and place your hands on your knees. It doesn't matter if the palms are upwards or downwards. It doesn't matter. What I am doing here basically, I am making sure that you are sitting attentive. You see what I'm saying? What I am doing here, I am making sure of it that you, my friend, sit attentive, very attentive. That's all I'm making sure, okay? I wish you all the best of physical health too, by the way. So if you are in a good physical shape, you sit with your spine erect and you are sitting attentive. That's all you are doing. At this moment in time, that's all you are doing. Okay, just make sure that your attention within, because you not only things outside are out there to catch, to hook your attention, but you also perceive your own thoughts. Thoughts are everything that you already know. Please know that. So when you know that your thoughts are not telling something new, then it is just not wise to subscribe and or bring your focus voluntarily to the thought. As soon as you bring your focus voluntarily to the thought, it becomes alive. Remember something, thought and mind are the same thing. When there is no thought, there is no mind. So what we are doing, we are taking charge of the mind. So when you sit attentive, okay, close your eyes. Thoughts can be very thoughts can be very compelling. Are you following what I'm saying to you? Thoughts can be very compelling, you see. So the reason people or the yogis, they close their eyes during the samadhi or during the meditation is so their attention is not hooked to anything outside of themselves. And when that shuts, that their attention is not hooked to anything outside of themselves, so they subtract for some time that possibility. You see, now the attention, of course, when you close your eyes and your attention is not hooked to anything outside of yourself, then your attention turns it inward. So as soon as you close your eyes, what you have is your mind. The thoughts would rise, the thought would subside. You realize thoughts are not anything new. Thoughts are what you already know. You realize you are smart enough. You realize you are wise enough, basically, to know that I don't want to know the things that I already know. You see, so you would sit and you would just sit and breathe. Sit attentive, breathe, close your eyes so your attention is not hooked outside. Do it every day, or at least as much as you can. Every day is a must, though, by the way. But for how long to. You heard that. This is the time for a private meditation session, you see. But you heard the bell. But we'll go a little further, since it is very significant for me to give you the right tools. You might think, oh, what that is going to do. The better question yet is asking what the religious figure did or what the place of worship did, what those prayers did. Isn't it? Isn't it the better question to ask? So what I'm saying to you is going to do something miraculous. You see, it is very simple. It is not fabricated. It is not fictional. It is very simple. I'm giving you a tool through the very nature of us. You see, I'm giving you a tool through the very nature. So you have tried everything. You have exhausted all your options. So just try this simple practice every day, and you would see the results in a few days. You would create sufficient distance from you and your mind or thoughts. Mind/thoughts. Mind and thoughts, same thing, you see. And then let me know. But you need to be dedicated to it. You have to do it every day. You can take charge of it. You can turn this mind in your ally. The mind then becomes your ally. So all the activities that I mentioned, not long ago, you would use it only to perform those activities. After that, when you are alone, you sit attentive. I will show you while we would do a brief meditation very soon. So you would basically do that and you would create sufficient distance from your thoughts and your mind. So when the mind is needed, you can use it. When you are alone by yourself, be in that state. Close your eyes, sit attentive. Your backbone erect, straight, not leaning forward or bending or sleeping. No. This time is solely for you, not for your mind, not for your thoughts, not for your ego, not for your psychological drama, not for anybody. This is the time solely for you and you solely. You owe that much to yourself. You deserve that. So try that, please, okay? And let me know the results. I always use the metaphor of a rubber band ball. Remember, I have mentioned the rubber band ball. Thoughts are just like that rubber band ball. You see, you board on one thought, you board on entire universe, because every, like those bunch of rubber bands that have they are attached to each other tightly, and it form a rubber band ball. Just like that, it's very difficult. It's sometimes it's impossible to separate uh, the rubber bands. You see, it's impossible sometimes to separate the rubber bands in the rubber band ball. So just like that, the thoughts are entangled. Just like those rubber bands, our thoughts basically are entangled too. Just like that. So once you board on one thought, before you even realize that you have boarded on the other one, and it would just keep going. As I mentioned in the beginning of this retreat, that it would just keep going and going and going, until unless you are alert enough, just like we sages are, until unless you are alert enough, just like we yogis are, until unless you are alert enough to see that how it plays its game. You see, we are, I'm not saying it with any arrogance, but it is very significant basically to mention this, because the reason is because if I can do it, so can you. You see what I'm saying to you? That's the reason I'm mentioning. Because the real me and real you is the pure consciousness of self awareness. So if I can do it, so can you. You understand what I'm saying to you? Um, that's the reason I'm mentioning that we, the yogis, the sages, we are so alert that as soon as we realize basically that it is trying to hook our attention, we can see basically the movement, we can see the movement of thought, we can see when we try to focus on something, it distracts us, the mind or the thought. It always does that. When we try to focus on something, it distracts us. It always does that. It only wants your focus, your attention to it, so it can keep going, and it wants to wear us out unless we unless we turn it into our ally, unless we turn it as a friend of ours. I hope that I have, not that I hope, no, that's, excuse me, I know and I am certain, I know and I am certain that I have brought clarity in your perception. I know for certain that I have brought hope. I know for certain that I have taken you out from the darkness, and I know for certain that I have brought light in your life. You see, when I started answering your inquiry, it was dark, but now you can see me clearly. So I brought you out of darkness to light. Even so, if you have any questions or further inquiry, please, excuse me, please feel free to write me. You see, even if you have any questions or further inquiry, please feel free to write me. The moral and the moral and the conclusion: learn to tame and turn the mind in friendly talking and make it a friendly ally, so you can use it according to what you require, but not the other way around.